What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. Today we've got Episode 5, the Canadian Grand Prix. Last time out, it was the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and it was not a very fun experience. If you missed that one, I'll put a link to that in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Recommend you check that out before you watch today's episode. Coming out of that race, we have a lot to think about, but we don't have a lot of time to think about it. We've got to move on, we got to move forward and set our sights on the Canadian Grand Prix, a race that I really like. I love this racetrack, and I'm just hopeful that our car is well suited for it. We need a good bounce-back race, and Canada's a good place to do it. We only have 2 days until the Canadian Grand Prix. I chose to spend it with the G-Force training for Jack. It helps his racecraft and his focus. After seeing some of his driving behind him in Baku, I think he needs a little racecraft improvement, so we'll sign him up for that. Have fun, Jack. Take a look at the performance index. We're now the fourth worst. We moved up a spot. We've surpassed Alfa Romeo. We got some upgrades from Renault on the engine side. They brought some factory upgrades that really helped us out a lot. Also on the durability side, they gave us some stuff as well. Lord knows we need that. But yeah, so we've jumped up ahead of Alfa Romeo. We've got some upgrades in the works. Got a major chassis weight reduction that should come in before the Canadian Grand Prix. We'll find out when we kick time forward. We definitely could use that. Got a minor powertrain, a minor drag reduction, and a major rear downforce upgrades in the works. So a lot of stuff happening. All this should hit before the next race, the French Grand Prix. And if it does, if it all comes through, oh baby, the French Grand Prix, we're going to be in really good shape. Of course, the big issue in Baku was our worn engine components. My mistake on forgetting to a fit component after I selected the second row of things. So we raced with a really old engine, really worn out stuff. That was my mistake. The internal combustion engine, MGUK and MGUH, are all pending. They're brand new components to go on, so we should have them when we get to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Unreal. A reminder of the point situation after Baku. Hamilton with a 31-point lead over Verstappen, who's got 6 points ahead of his teammate in Perez. Bottas way back there, some 6 points behind his teammate. He's got to step it up. Lando and his teammate Ricciardo 5th and 6th. We got Alonso, Gasly, Yuki Tsunoda, and Sebastian Vettel rounding out the top 10. Leclerc, Sainz, Ocon, and Stroll all have points, and then there's the rest of us who don't have any points at all. On the constructors' side, Mercedes with a 22-point lead over Red Bull, and that's a pretty good gap back to McLaren that's kind of by themselves in third. A little bit of a scrap here between AlphaTauri and Alpine. Ferrari and Aston Martin tied for 6th with 16 points, and then there's the four of us, again, no points. We got some resource points, we've got some money, but I want to roll time forward to see if we get our chassis upgrade before we get to the Canadian Grand Prix. We need to maximize our time here, so let's see if we get it.
Our new parts have completed without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
Whew, thank goodness. That is huge to get that major weight reduction. Now that we've got an open slot to do some more development, I can get this energy store cells positioning thing going. You can see it's a 61% discount because of the practice programs. It is super cheap now, so we'll get that going. That'll help with weight redistribution. Well, here we are then, race weekend for the Canadian Grand Prix. We need a big bounce back after Baku. This is a great place to start. I like this track. I think our car is going to be well suited for it. We'll see what happens. Let's head out to Canada. Eh?
Hello and welcome to the Ile Notre Dame once again for what promises to be another incredible Canadian Grand Prix at a fiercely competitive circuit, where pole position can often be decided by less than 1/10 of a second. If you want flat-out racing, you've come to the right place this weekend, as it's full throttle for 59% of this 2.7-mile circuit, peaking at around 210 miles per hour going into the final chicane. But that speed requires discipline, and there are more than a few close walls here just waiting to punish drivers with a heavy right foot. I'm joined again today by none other than Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, obviously there's a lot of development work that goes on with these cars between the races. You've been both a test driver and a race driver. What differences are there in the way you approach those roles?
Interesting question, Crofty. They're two very different mindsets. I mean, when I tested for BAR, we had full in-season testing where, per driver, you'd cover up to 15,000 kilometers per season. And in that role, it was more about working for the team, trying to help them improve the car and drive as systematically as you could, so that that data could be analysed in the most consistent way. When you're lining up on the grid for a race, however, your frame of mind's all about what you can get out of the situation on that day, and the car's the tool to help you achieve what you want. You still want to focus on setup, of course, but it's more about the here and now, getting yourself as far up the field as possible, and less about development work for the future.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Sergio Perez and Sainz, Tsunoda, Ocon, Gasly and Lewis Hamilton. They've taken a grid penalty. Vettel, Joker, Daniel Ricciardo and Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi and Mick Schumacher, Russell, Aitken, Mazepin and Nicholas Latifi. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now the next day from when I first started recording this episode. Why? Because this will be the second time that I'll run the Canadian Grand Prix. Why? Because it crashed. The game crashed while I was getting the thumbnail screenshot. So how did the first Canadian Grand Prix go? Went really well. We stayed around 14th, 15th, battling with Aston Martin and Alfa Romeo cars. It went really well. I was having a blast. We were having so much fun. Pack racing, a lot of passing, overtaking, exciting stuff. And then, with like 7 laps to go, a random fault occurred in my car in the engine system, and I lost engine power. And I dropped from 15th down to 18th on the last lap. Mick Schumacher. I'm still waking up. Mick passed me on the last lap, and we finished 18th. I was really disappointed, man, because we had a really strong run. Should have finished higher up. But one of those random faults new for this year kicked in and wiped us out. But, yeah, the game crashed while I was getting the thumbnail screenshot. This was my reaction. Don't tell me that didn't count. Fuck! So now we get to run the Canadian Grand Prix again. And not something I'm terribly upset about because I do like this race. I just wish that this game was a little more stable. It crashes frequently. It's been my experience at least. I don't know if your experience has been the same if you've been playing it, but it definitely likes to crash a lot more than last year's game did. Second attempt at the Canadian Grand Prix, hopefully with better luck this time. Ooh-wee. All right. That puts us up to P10. What a great start. Oh, Gasly thought about it. That was really awkward. Really awkward. Especially with him being on the hard tires, there's no way. Uh-oh. Trouble back there. I guess we're all right. Okay, good start to this one. Not bad at all.
You're in the top 10 now. Keep it up.
Here comes Vettel. Oh, a little switchback on me. We get the better drive off. Good stuff.
There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Wow, Vettel gets it done around the outside. Nice job. And he gets the DRS, too. Good for him. Ricardo around the outside. Now get it done. Well, I think the good thing is we are far enough ahead that we should be able to hold this spot. All the cars in front of us are faster than us. They're just better cars. We can hang on to them, that'd be great, but I'm not expecting to. Doesn't mean I'm not going to try to, but we got 2.5 seconds back to Gasly, who's on hards. And I think that's to our benefit, of course, to grow that gap. We can hang out around 12th. Fine by me.
We're leading our teammate by 5.9 seconds.
Pick up the pace, Jack. Good fighting here between Ocon and Vettel.
We're approaching the pit window.
That's keeping us close. It's keeping Ricardo at bay as well. We can hold on to him for DRS. I think it's time to get off these tires. Box this lap.
Understood, stopping this lap.
Yep, they had the same idea. Same idea. Ocon and Ricardo both felt the same thing, so that was the right decision. Good first stint. Come in and get another pair of soft tires here. 2.1. Oh, that's an unsafe release if I've ever seen one, but that's okay.
Okay, you only have to stop once now. One stop left.
We did jump Ocon, which is great. So Ricardo and Ocon elected to go mediums. I took softs.
Jack is coming in for a stop.
Kind of wondering if that was not a good idea. We got Mazepin ahead of us holding up Ocon. I'll take that help. Thanks, Mazepin. Keep holding them up. All right, Vettel. Be a drag race. Oh, this is interesting. Oh. Huh. I'll take it. Nope. You have to try again, Sebastian. Taking the spot, Mick. Block me all you want to. I'm taking the spot. Well, we've lost a lot of time to Ocon. He's 3 seconds up the road. Vettel's still got our DRS. We're going to have to deal with him, which is fine. He was taking that spot. He wasn't going to be denied. We've fallen out of DRS range of Vettel. We held on as long as we could, but I think the tires are starting to give up.
Condition is still looking good.
Yeah, okay, there you go. We've fallen out of DRS range of Vettel.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
Yeah, the tires are really starting to give up, and we're getting to close to the pit window, and we fought as well as we could, but really it wasn't about fighting Vettel. It was about building a gap behind us, and we've done that. I think our pace is going to be fine on the mediums. We got 4 seconds back to Raikkonen.
Pit window open. Let's box this lap.
Let's. All right, here we go, boys. Let's get a good pit stop in. Yeah, we should have pitted a little bit sooner than this. Tires were dead. That's okay.
Release, release.
3.1, not good.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
All right, well, that's our strategy complete. Now we just got to drive our ass off for the next 14 laps and try and pass as many people as we can. Got 2 Haas cars here in front of me. Oh, a little wiggly there, Mick. Thank you.
Jack is coming in for a stop.
All right, got through the Haas cars.
There's been an incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are no plans for a safety car right now.
Let me tell you, those marshals are on it all the time. Still can't get a safety car to save our life.
Some information on Stroll. They are out of the race.
That was some information. You're right. Thanks, Jeff. Why is he out? Why? Who cares? It looks like we got Alonso on fresh mediums. Hot on our ass. And there he goes. And okay. I thought he was going to take the spot.
Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags.
And that means you, Alonso, no overtaking. I guess that doesn't apply to Fernando Alonso. Jeez.
Don't panic just yet, but we've seen a problem at our end. We're looking into it.
Uh-huh. So that tells me that these things are scripted. It's determined before the race even begins if you're going to have a random failure or not.
It's not good news, I'm afraid.
Yep.
Seems like an engine issue. We're leading our teammate by 6.8
All right.
seconds. The issue seems to be fixed. but we will keep monitoring it our end.
Oh. All right, well, that's different. They didn't fix it the first time I did this. Interesting. But it was the same lap, or hereabouts, that it happened. How curious. Well, we're 14th. Got 5 seconds or so back to Kimmy. We're not going to compete with the guys in front of us. They're gone. So at this point, hopefully the engine stays together. And we can hold on to 14th. Although, I don't know, the engine doesn't seem perfect. I've been pushing hard to keep Raikkonen at bay. He hasn't gotten much closer to me. He's close, but he ain't close enough to do anything yet. Keeping around 3 seconds. Or trying. White flag, last lap. P13, let's finish this thing off, please. Kimmy's been closing. I don't think he's going to get here.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
Max Verstappen wins the Canadian Grand Prix. Good for him.
Our gap to the car in front is 10.0 seconds.
All right, we should be good here. Should be. I don't know. All right, good deal. P13. Woo, what a race.
Okay,
I'm
pick
sweaty.
up rubber and bring it home.
Oh, that was great. Please don't crash, game. Please don't crash. Daniel Ricciardo, driver of the day. Good for him. Oh, man.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams.
Double podium for
and
Red Bull.
They're certainly proving themselves.
Hamilton up on the second step, but that's a good day for Red Bull. That'll help them out in constructors. Keep that fight interesting. It's nice to see Red Bull doing well in this career mode. That's reminiscent of what we see in real life. Let's look at the final results then. Max Verstappen gets the win over Hamilton and Perez. Bottas in 4th. Daniel Ricciardo 13th to 5th. He was very fast indeed. The 2 Ferraris 6th and 7th. Good bounce back for them. Yuki Tsunoda gets 8th. Vettel and Ocon 9th and 10th. Alonso, Gasly, we get 13th. Awesome, awesome job. Even though we started 12th. Our pace was pretty much right around there. Kimi was right behind us. Jack was right behind him. So good day for us. Giovinazzi, Norris, a miserable day after starting on the outside of the front row. George Russell, Schumacher, Mazepin, Latifi, and then Lance Stroll, the 1 DNF in this race. Lando Norris with the fastest lap, 109.7. Meanwhile, my best lap was a 111.2. We got a lot of work to do still on this car, but I'm happy. 13th and 15th, good day for Speedhouse Racing. And that is the Canadian Grand Prix in the books. A really fun race. God, I love that racetrack. And this car was well suited for it. It was a blast to drive. I think we're chewing through tires a little too quickly, but we'll start getting upgrades to help with tire wear. And the driver's got to do a better job. But overall, P13, not bad at all. Even with that little engine fault, again, the same thing. Just a different result. They were able to fix it this time. So I'm happy about that. But we've got a lot of upgrades in the works. Things are looking good for Speedhouse Racing. Let's take a look at the point standings one more time. Hamilton continues to hold a 24-point lead over Verstappen. Perez there in 3rd. Bottas in 4th. Ricciardo and Norris, the teammates, 5th and 6th. Alonso 7th. AlphaTauri tied Those two drivers for 8th with 20 points apiece. Leclerc, Vettel, Sainz, Ocon, Stroll, still all with points. On the constructors side, things tighten up a little bit with the double podium for Red Bull. They're now 12 points back from Mercedes. McLaren further cements itself as the 3rd best. And that midfield fight, AlphaTauri, Alpine, and Ferrari, pretty good. Aston Martin still kind of right there as well. And the 4 of us without any points. And that'll do it for today's episode. The Canadian Grand Prix is in the books. An absolute banger of a race. I enjoyed myself, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, let me know by leaving a thumbs up on the video and a comment down below. Give me your thoughts on the Canadian Grand Prix. What do you think of our performance? That was pretty awesome. And, maybe a prediction. What do you think we'll do the next time we unload for the French Grand Prix? We got a lot of upgrades in the works, a lot of things that are going to help this car out. And if they all come through without any failures, I like our chances. But we'll just have to find out then. I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode for the French Grand Prix.